Hello.
Hi, Carrie. It looks like you're
Hi.
coming on. Oh, here we
Eh,
go. We're all getting in and getting situated. Here we
yeah.
go.
Let me shut my door because Don just got home and he's in his office, which is just feet away from me. So it's too
Actually,
scrunchy for us to sit next to each other.
oh, yeah, I get that. My husband and I are the same way. His office is just like kitty corner for mine, but it's, yeah, kind
Yeah.
of need your own space when you're working sometimes. I get that.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah, we're
that.
around each other 24/7, so
You're
Geez,
like,
babe,
might as
close the
well when I'm
closet
working.
door.
Oh, did you hear me? I'm sorry.
Oh, well,
Carrie,
nice to
can you at
see you
least close
both.
the closet door? Jeez.
Yeah. Uh,
Real life situations here. We're taking it as it comes.
yeah.
Don, I can hear you, but I can't see you. So if I'm supposed to be able
Ah,
to see you, I can't.
well, it's saying that my video is on.
Is your slider bar moved again?
I just used it the other yesterday. Well,
Well,
maybe, I don't know.
yeah, let's try to fix that,
Come
babe.
on, I just sat down for crying out loud. I was speeding to get home.
I know.
No, it should be open.
I think it
Don't give
Mm.
me
thinks
that.
it's open.
Yeah, we can't see.
I mean, as long as you can see us, if you
Yes,
think I
yeah, I
need
could.
to see you, then we
I
can
no,
take a
you've
second to
already.
troubleshoot.
No, it's okay. You've already seen my ugly mug. That's fine.
Okay, well,
God.
if you want to toy around with it as we're talking, feel free. Otherwise, as long as everybody can hear each other, I still think that we can get a lot of stuff communicated and get
That's
across. So,
Yes.
yeah, well, it's been a busy few weeks, right? Because you guys had a lot going on, and then we pushed back the last session. So you guys are busy. How are things lately? How's Booker?
Oh, he's a brat. I love him. He's spoiled. Oh, he's got us trained. I think this is just all back. He should really be on this call.
Well, that's good to
But
hear. So he's settling in. What are you seeing now?
oh boy. Well, Don, do you want to talk about the walks then? Because you
yeah,
do it more than I do. He walks them during the day. I can't
Yeah.
do that a lot during the day. So,
yeah. No, he's definitely getting better. Unfortunately, we didn't get to work a lot on the away and things of that nature, just time
Sure.
constraints and whatnot. But he is less and less aggressive towards other dogs now. He takes note of them. And I think we're kind of echoing what happened last time. And I don't like not being able to have you see me, but and I'm working on it as we speak. But he really, I think he's really come a long way. Even with the dog next door, when he runs
Nice.
out the door in the morning, he literally books out the door, usually slips and falls on the patio because he's so excited. Then he runs to our neighbor's fence and barks to see if Patron is out. And I've noticed in watching him, it's not such his aggressiveness kind of has come down. It's more
Okay.
of a playful, what are you doing type attitude. And I've like last night, perfect example last night. Carrie and I took him for a walk, and it was a beautiful night last night. So obviously everybody's out with their dogs,
Right.
and we got turned around probably 3, 4 times. We would be walking down the street, and I'd be like, "Oh, here comes a dog. Let's turn around." And I have certainly found that he doesn't care. I mean, I could walk him, 3 doors down, turn around, walk him 3 doors. He doesn't care. He just wants to get out and see things. And like last night, there was a dog on the other side of the street, and he was certainly aware of it. But I didn't even have to give him treats or anything. He was until the other dog started barking. Then of course he barks,
Sure.
and he.
Yeah.
But that, him, and I use my air quotes, going after that dog, he still does that, but it's not aggressive. It's not that real deep growling. His hair isn't standing up.
Okay.
His tail is wagging. Very much, it wouldn't look like that to the average person, but very much more calm. than he was before. Before it was, I want to kill it. Now it's
Right.
like, okay, it's there. I'm keeping an eye on it, and he will watch it as they walk past. But like last night, and Carrie, you can comment on it. Remember, we were walking and we kind of slowed down and stopped a little bit, and he immediately turned around to check and see what was going on. Whereas
Sure.
before, he would have just kept going and pulling. So he's paying
Okay.
more attention to us when we're walking. He's looking for that validation. And unfortunately, we had a bad day with him yesterday. He got into something. I think he killed a rabbit. Um,
Oh,
yeah, and so his stomach, I mean, he didn't eat all day. I took him out for a walk in the morning before I went when I went out in the field, and he was not interested. He
okay.
wouldn't, I think a dog probably could have walked up to him, bit him on the nose, and he probably would not have cared. He just did not feel good.
Yeah.
I offered him treats. We did use I don't know, Carrie, if you have that peanut butter thing, and like the Cheese Whiz, I
Hmm.
ordered three of those peanut butter ones that are specifically for
Hmm.
the Kong. So now I'm
Hmm.
not only carrying the Zooks, the little tiny things. I've got a spray can in my pouch. I must look like the biggest goofball when I'm taking him on walks, but he loves that. So it is so
Nice.
much better. I've been using that a lot more to distract him from dogs because like a great suggestion, by the way. I've told so many people about it, never would have thought of
Good.
it. I can spray that and keep walking with him. And
Yep.
I mean, as long as and he's licking and licking, he doesn't know what the hell's going on around him. So
Right.
we are really using that a lot. And he now knows. I was on the phone with one of my coworkers when I was racing to get back here, and I had told her yesterday that he was sick. So she said, how's the pup? And I was telling her, um, he he normally when we get in from a walk, and this is such good conditioning, I think, when we come in, usually I'll be coming up to the house, and this is and the only reason I'm telling you this is because it's such a different behavior than it was
Yeah.
before. Before I would literally have a hold of that leash until we got in the house, door locked, and then I would take it off because we were so scared. We are
Sure.
now progressing to like if I go out to the mailbox, I'll take him out in the front yard off leash, and
Oh,
he
wow.
has no interest in what's going on around this. He's interested in my car. He's still sniffing the car, looking for
Sure.
those drugs. But all I have to, one word. I say his name, and he is instantly on me. So we really have that bond.
We
Um,
do look to make sure there's no other
oh yeah, yeah,
dogs out
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah. We're
Yeah.
not. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not careless with it. But the fact is that before we absolutely couldn't do that. Um,
Yeah.
and then getting back from the walks, I'm kind of pushing, very slowly. I'm pushing that boundary because he knows when we're home. And so, before I would wait till I got to my car and let him off the leash. Now I waited until the end of the driveway and I would let him off the leash just to see what he would do. Obviously, looking around, there's no other animals, no squirrels or birds or whatever. And
Hmm.
and he goes right. I mean, he goes right to the door. He knows he's home.
Oh,
So
I love it.
lately, I've ventured to the neighbor's driveway and the end of the neighbor's driveway, and I'm just kind of very slowly teaching him that home is where you go,
Yeah.
and you're going to get rewarded for it. So I'm doing that every time I walk him. I let him off the leash. He goes right to the door, or he sniffs. He stays in the driveway.
Hmm.
Um, and when we come in, so then I'll come up to the door. I'll take off his harness so he knows the walk is over. I bring him in, and now the little son of a gun, he will walk directly to the kitchen, and he'll just turn around and wait for me. And just he stands there and looks at me because I hang up his harness right inside the front door with the leash.
Hmm.
And then I walk in there, and as soon as I unbuckle that pouch, then I go to hang it up on the hook, he sits. He will sit. So he's got it down to he knows where home is. He knows he's
Hmm.
getting treats because he was a good
Hmm.
boy. So I
Hmm.
mean, the modifications are absolutely working. It's
Good.
remarkable, absolutely remarkable.
It's so fun
And by the
because
way, oh, go
yeah,
ahead, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, no, no, you go ahead first. It
I,
wasn't anything important.
what you just described on sounds so much like my house. Like I just love how much that we have such similarities because I used to do that not with my current dogs, but with some of my older dogs in the past where I let them off the leash, like, and I went further and further from the house. And I had a little Maltipoo. He was a little thing at the time, but he sadly had separation anxiety. So home was like the best. So he would race home and it was just the most adorable thing. So that's cute. And I do the same thing with my dogs on walks. We come in, we get I call it suiting up and suiting down. So we suit down, we get all our gear off, I hang it up, and they do exactly that. They're in the kitchen waiting because for me, I usually give them a long-term calming project to work on. The walk is usually, depending on what we're doing, it's can be arousing, it can be relaxing. Maybe we encountered some dog or maybe we didn't, but either way, I still want them to kind of decompress a little bit more. So I give them a frozen lick mat or something they can work on for a few minutes. So they've got it down pat, much like Booker, where they come in, they get their stuff off, go to the kitchen, and they just sit and wait. They're like, yeah, I get something else, right? This is the part where I get something else.
It-
But
It's
I love that
amazing.
he's learned that. Yeah, Booker's like, yeah, this is my routine. This is what I do with my humans. And the order of events, I think, is lovely, especially the consistency because dogs rely so much on predictability and consistency. It's not so much that walks are always at the same time or that the stuff you do are, it's not really the time of day, it's the order of events. We do this and then this happens, and we do this and then this happens. That just helps them feel more safe at home. So the more that you've been doing that with Booker and he knows what to expect from you, I'm sure it's had a big part to do with how at home he's feeling with both of you. So it's just lovely to hear. I love that.
Well, he is he has definitely got us trained too. So, right when we got him, everybody said, especially with German Shepherds, and a lot of dogs, obviously, is the person that feeds them, that it's going to be that's going to be their person. And it was pretty apparent right from the get-go because I was walking him quite a bit more that he had latched onto me. And I felt very guilty about that because let's be honest, if we rate animal lovers in this household, Carrie's 5'4" is way taller than my 6'4", right? I mean, she is just out there, and so she feeds. She is the primary source for food. She feeds him in the
Mhm.
morning. She feeds him in the afternoon. Luckily enough, my job, I can walk him quite a bit, and so we've really divided and conquered those kind of things, and it is she. I got to give her credit. Carrie is very consistent with the feeding. Unfortunately, the feeding is now on his terms a lot. He anymore now he will not. He will, but depending on his mood, the majority. And Carrie, correct me if I'm wrong. He will not eat his breakfast until he goes on a walk.
Mhm.
And
Oh, I
and
see.
and that
Okay.
yeah, and that parent in me. I had two daughters. That parent in me is, and I tell Carrie this all the time, you're dumb. You're letting him rule the world here. If he's hungry, he will eat. But Carrie is like, oh no, that animal lover just comes out, and then at night now all of our moms would probably have a fit. The little son of a gun will not eat his dinner until he has his dessert. He has to eat his dessert first, so he gets his little pup cup, which is fine. I don't care when he eats it as long as he eats. But we just celebrated 4 months. We got him on January 11th. It is now May 15th, but on the 11th was 4 months, and
Mhm.
I'm amazed at the routine that we've gotten in. That I've kind of gotten in the habit. I tried it yesterday, and he didn't want anything to do with it until the afternoon after he felt better. But I'll give him. We come in, he sits. I give him a couple treats, and then I take a handful of them and literally just pitch him in the living room. And
Nice.
and he hears them hit, and then he gets to go, and then I keep another handful of them. And as I walk up the stairs to come to my office, I just start dropping them along the stairs, and then I throw a couple
Nice.
in the bedroom, and so it's not just okay, we're home, go to sleep, or do
Right.
whatever. He knows there's something following that too, and it broke my heart yesterday. I felt so bad with him when I got back for the walk because Carrie was in the office, so she wasn't even here, to comfort him or whatever with me. And I felt so bad. I'm throwing treats, nothing. Trying to give him treats. I tried to give him the spray thing, and nothing.
Mhm.
But he really is in a nice routine now. He's laying on the landing, looking out the front door right now, and um, yeah, it's a lot of consistency, a whole lot of
Yeah.
consistency. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that consistency is good for him. I don't want to get him in such a routine that gets bored with it. But Carrie's real good when, you know, when I'm in the field and Carrie's at home, you know, I get a notification from our cameras, and, you know, she's out there playing with him, even if it's just for 5-10 minutes, whatever we can,
Mhm.
to get the blood going, to keep his
Yeah.
mind occupied.
Yeah. And I think to your point of getting bored, consistency is one thing, right? Just like in terms of the order of events, that doesn't mean that the thing that you're doing needs to be the same all the time. So maybe like the thing is you get home from work and you do some sort of scent work or some sort of activity for like the couple minutes it takes you to get from the door to the bedroom, your office, whatever. You can vary whatever that thing is. Sometimes it's tossing the treats, maybe sometimes it's putting together a quick snuffle mat, or maybe it's putting some Destructibles together that you just toss out. It doesn't need to be a whole lot of time and effort, but you can always vary what it is that you do if you're thinking he's getting bored of like the exact same thing. There is something to variety in that sense. Also, I don't know what's going on in the universe, but I had another client yesterday whose dog ate a bird earlier in the week and was having some horrible stomach
Oh,
upset. So I don't know what's going on in the world, but everybody's eating stuff that they shouldn't, and it's causing a whole lot of mess for everybody.
well, I actually think I think I know about that. It's birthing season, right? So
Oh, sure.
we
Yeah.
have baby bunnies that are running around that can't protect themselves. And I put together,
We
I
have
it was
tons.
either a
Yeah.
baby bunny that he got, or a baby bird. But Carrie had just said the day before yesterday, when she went out in the backyard, she's like, "Oh, there's an egg." So an egg fell out of the
Mm.
nest in our tree. So yeah, it's birthing season. All the little animals, squirrels, rabbits, ducks, now everything. And I
Yeah.
just talked to when I was talking to my coworker, she said the same thing. She said their dog is killing baby bunnies left and right because it can catch them now. And
Yeah.
so I think that's pretty prevalent. I'm seeing baby geese by the pond over by our house. So I think that's going on, and I think that's what he did. I almost said sicker than a dog, but that's a bad cliche to use on this point. But yeah, he was not feeling well, and I think that's what it was. He's
Yeah.
feeling fine now, but yeah, we try to give him as much during the day as we can. Certainly at night, he still has his toy. Carrie just gave him his toy last night. Carrie, do you want to tell her what he did last night with the toy? Remember the puzzle? He was laying on the floor. Carrie put
Hmm.
it down, and she filled all the candy, all the treats in there, and she set it down for him. And what did he do, babe? Do you remember?
I know.
He laid
He,
there. No, he laid there and he whined and he whined, and we thought, well,
oh,
maybe his stomach is bothering him still or
oh,
whatever.
he
So
wanted me to help him.
yeah, so Carrie had to get up and literally push it a couple inches because he didn't want to pick his head. The lazy
Yeah,
little.
oh yeah, that. He was laying in front of, or behind it, whatever. I had it in front of him, but
Uh-huh.
he was just so lazy that he looked at it. It was like, like an inch from him. That was too far. So
That's
he's
too
whining,
far.
and I had to go push it in front of him, and then he kind of sat up and he played with his puzzle and got all of his treats. I was like, "Are you joking me right now?" I had to get up so that I could you couldn't crawl or move yourself a little, like
Right.
an inch, 2 inches.
He's
So
like, I
he's,
was relaxed and you made me get up and I want it, but I gotta
I,
move. Seriously?
yes, I know.
I mean, you could always, depending on how it works for your schedule, and I know we've got lives, so sometimes we don't always have choice and the segments of time that we have to do a thing with our dogs, but you can always try to aim those 4 times that you need for him to be less aroused. Like after walks is a good one, or just anytime something arousing is happening and you want to use this as a way to help like de-escalate things. That way you're not having him get active when he was already relaxed. He was like, I was perfectly
Hmm.
chill here. I don't know how much I needed this right now, but thank you. I'll still do it because I mean, fun and food. So just take that with grain of salt in terms of your daily schedule and the activities and stuff that you do. It sounds like for the most part during the day, he's pretty chill. Like he relaxes well.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he really
Yeah,
is.
good.
He is, and I know we've talked about this, and that's kind of the whole thing here is, is just that the other dogs, if honest to God, if we could get it when I'm going to say when, because I'm still holding out a lot of hope. When we can get him there, he is probably one of the most well behaved, chill, smart dogs I've ever had.
Yeah.
I'm taking him on walks, and I just yeah, day before, because he wasn't feeling well, I walking down the street, and these two ladies were out with the four very young children, and they were kind of eyeballing him a little bit as I was walking, and I walked out towards the street, and one lady made a comment, so she wanted to pet him, so she came over, and he literally, I mean, these are strangers. You've got four screaming little kids, and she came over, she extended her hand, and he sat down. And I'm like,
Okay.
what more? And then when the kids came over by him, which now I've got a strong hand on the leash, it doesn't bother him. I mean, nothing seems to bother him except the other dogs, which is coming down. I mean, it really is. Wouldn't you agree, babe? He's getting better, a lot better with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and a lot of that will be monitoring for all those new interactions will be for you folks monitoring his body language because there's a difference between I'm just sitting there super stoic and letting this happen to me versus I want this to happen. Right? So
Mhm.
that's a common thing I see for dogs that are super well behaved on walks. Dogs that are really bonded to their person. Like, I don't want to leave this space or this area because this is my person. But people are so unfortunately used to asking, can I pet your dog? When really the question should be, does your dog want to be pet? Like,
Hmm.
can we ask your dog if your dog wants to be pet? Did we go over petting consent things? Let me take a quick look to see if I've ever shown these to you. I don't think we have. I'm going to bring up a quick video. That way we can go through it together. And this will be helpful when you're, like I said, navigating new situations, mostly with people. And then we'll talk separately about how we can build on our skills with other dogs. But as far as with people goes, I think for now, his body language is going to be the indicator of do I want to be pet or not. You can do this at home as far as practicing with him. The indicators that a dog wants to be pet will be them, hey, like they're pawing at you, like, excuse me, hello, I'm right here being so beautiful and you're not touching me. So that's obviously an indicator. And the second one is, hey, hello, like they're
Uh,
nudging their head into you, right?
He does that. He leans
Yeah.
into
Yeah. Or the
people.
lean, excuse me, my butt's right here and it's not going to scratch itself, right? So there are signals that they'll give, and that means I want to be touched by you. And when we do
Yeah.
that, we as humans will pet them. If you're like me, you are a normal but flawed human and you forget how to do it correctly. Correctly means one, two, three, stop. Remove your hand. Do you still want this interaction to continue? Again, he'll give an indication because my dog does this every morning. We have cuddles, morning cuddles in the bed, and she'll lay on her back for me to rub her chest, and I'll rub it. And then if I stop, she's like, "Excuse me," and then like she'll go back, right? And that's like just the pattern. But I'll do it a few times and then stop, few times and then stop, because at a certain point, she's not going to nudge me, and she's just like. That was good. No, no, I don't want. I'm good. I just want to lay here, but she doesn't want my hands all over her. So that's consent petting. That's petting consent and us asking for that consent. That builds such a strong bond because we are honoring their communication. And they communicate with body language, and we're honoring that. So it builds so much confidence and it builds such a stronger bond between the person that they're engaging with. So a new person, most regular humans don't know about petting consent, which is why you always hear, "Can I pet your dog?" And immediately their hand goes out.
Mm-mm.
There's no need for a hand. They can smell you
Yeah.
from there, right? Like their sense of smell is fantastic, as we know, because he's always trying to get in the car or he's always investigating the car. Really, what they can do if they want to engage is, especially Don, if you're the one walking, this is probably going to happen to you. If you have treats, you can offer them like a couple treats in their hand and say, you can toss a treat to him and see what he does. And if he like
Don
tosses a
does
treat,
do
he'll
that.
eat it. Great. And if they put their hand out and Booker doesn't do anything, he probably doesn't want to be pet. He's probably okay sitting there while my human, Dawn, is having a conversation with a strange person I don't know and her four mini humans, but that doesn't necessarily mean I want to be pet. Does that make sense? Just as a
Absolutely. You
concept?
know what? It absolutely, and I'm glad you confirmed that, because especially when I'm around the children, that, obviously he's
Mm,
a big dog and very,
yeah,
very strong. So I'm like watching every hair on his body. And
yeah,
because of you, and I'm giving you full credit, because before I was watching him as a whole and the
sure.
situation, I wasn't watching him. And I did, these two ladies and their children is a perfect example, because they kind of were a little bit of distance, not much, but they walked right up to him, and he literally, and I didn't tell you this, babe, I forgot about it, but he literally, he sat there and he looked at him. And then as they got a little closer and she started to extend her hand, he got up and very slowly walked over and proceeded to push his head right in her crotch. And she's like, "Oh," and she literally goes, it was the neighbor to the firefighter guy, babe. She goes, "Oh, we got a
Oh,
crotch sniffer." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And she's like, and she literally looked at me and she said, "No, that's okay. He's telling me that he wants me to pet him." And
Yeah, yeah.
it didn't make sense to me. And then I thought about another lady that I ran into the day before, and she came out, literally she came out, she was in her yard, she came out to talk to me, and she had a look of trepidation on her face as she's looking at him, and she said, "Oh my God, he's so beautiful. Is he a good dog?" And I said, "He absolutely phenomenal dog." I said, "We're working with this amazing trainer, and we're trying to get," because her dog is sitting on the other side of the fence, and he was not even paying attention to that dog. And that dog
Mm,
was sitting up on a table. So this dog could, it was a little fluffy thing, but could actually look over the fence right at Booker. And Booker saw him, but he was more interested in the lady. And she said, and she literally said to me, she goes, "It's nothing against your dog. I just have a thing with German Shepherds." And I said, "Well, is it because he's big?" And she said, "No, I had a Mastiff that was 200 pounds." She said, "It's
mm,
a German Shepherd thing."
mm.
And at that point, and I don't know if he could friggin' read her mind or what, without me even saying anything, he sat and he just sat there and he looked at her, quizzically, And so she came a little bit closer. And now, mind you, I know I told you before about the kids. All these kids came up for a while back, and he was phenomenal with the kids. It was her kids that did
Oh,
this.
okay.
And so I was like, "No," I said, "Your kids love him." And she's like, "Oh my God, that's the dog that they were telling me about." And I said, "Yes." And with that, she walked up and she said, "Can I pet him?" And I looked down at him and he kind of cocked his head a little bit, tongue's lolling out, and his tail's wagging a little bit. And I said, "Yeah." So she came up very, very slowly, hand out and everything. And he stood up, which frightened her a little bit, but he walked over and he literally laid his head in her hand and
Oh,
was kind of like nudging her, like, "Yeah, I'm not going to kill you, pet me." And she started
yeah,
petting him, and she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it," because he's a German Shepherd. And
yeah.
so yeah, he wants pets all the time.
Good,
I've not seen a situation where he's backed off or looked
good.
nervous or anything like that. And again, I'm giving you full credit, because I would not have been watching him. I would have been watching the situation more so. And he loves it. He absolutely loves it. And now
Good.
I will continue to look to make sure that I'm reading it right. But with Carrie, oh my God, I just told her this morning. Carrie got up. She's taking a shower. I laid in bed for a little bit, and I swing my legs over the side of the bed, and I'm kind of waking up a little bit. And he came over and he buried his head in between my legs so that I would pet him, and he kept it there for probably 2 minutes. And
Oh, baby.
yeah, I mean, I'm like, okay. And then and I don't know, Carrie, you jump in too. Uh, when he's done, he's done. Right. I was in the middle of petting him, and I'm thinking, okay, my arms are getting tired because I'm reaching all the way down to his butt, and I'm going back and forth. And then finally he was like, "Okay, had enough." He literally lifted my one leg up, walked through my legs as I'm sitting, and went and laid down, because he's like, "Okay, I'm done. You petted me. Thank
Yeah,
you."
yeah.
So he really does
Awesome.
give us a
yeah.
lot of signals.
And then he
Um,
Yeah.
came over to me, but yeah, he leans into me every morning though. I think he gets upset when I don't take a minute to just hug him and love on him. He
Yeah.
likes that. He likes his morning cuddles, and then he's fine. Then he
Yeah.
immediately goes to the toy box, gets a ball, shoves it in my crotch, and he's ready to go. And I'm like, dude, I haven't even had my coffee yet. I have taken like 5 steps out of bed. But the reason I was laughing is because you're talking about getting consent from him. I have never waited for consent. I smother this guy. He probably does like Don better because he's like, this woman will not leave me alone. I am constantly kissing him and hugging him. I don't wait for approval. At first, I was kind of like that with because he's a shepherd, and they're a little intimidating. And so I'm like, what is he going to do if I kiss his face? Is he going to bite my face off? I mean, you don't know in the beginning. But then as I learned how sweet he is, I'll just get on the floor, while I'm working. And he lays in here sometimes. And I'll get down and I just give him kiss, 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 kiss. I'm like have these makeout sessions with him. And I don't know if he likes it or not, but part of me doesn't
Okay.
care because I love him so much. I just can't
Oh,
stop.
okay. That was gross.
Sounds like that's TMI. I don't know if I need to know
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
adorable,
I mean,
though. I mean, I love that you
he's
have that bond now with him a lot, and I can see the trepidation, especially for a dog that you just adopted, and you're like, I don't know how close I want my face next to your face. So I think at this point, we've obviously established he
yeah.
loves you both, and he's fine. Doing that stuff, I think once in a while is absolutely fine. We're humans and we want to love on our dogs. I do that to my older dog at night, who at this point he's super thin. He's whatever. He's getting old, so he doesn't like to be held. So I give him a kiss on the head, like at bedtime. And I know he doesn't necessarily like it, so I try not to do it often. But sometimes I look at him, I'm like, you're my sweet old man, and I just have to. So
Yeah.
for all that, like for all of the times that I'm going to do that and he may not like it, I think of it as I may take a little bit of a withdrawal from the trust account because he did not consent to this. So I'm making a quick withdrawal, but it adds value to me. I'm not super worried about depleting the bank account because there's so much stuff that I put in there at other times. So
Mhm.
for all of the times that you do something like that where he didn't ask for, there's probably 10 times more opportunities that he's asking you for pets and you give it to them when he asks for it, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
he
wouldn't
asks if
think too
they
much
throw
about
us
it,
a bone.
right?
They throw me a bone every now and then, no pun intended. But he no he will curl his paw over my arm while I'm doing that. He'll just reach out and he'll like hold my arm with both paws or something, or he'll
Precious.
prop his paw up on my shoulder. So I think he likes it. I just
Yeah.
um it's just interesting, a different perspective, and interesting to hear the consent thing because
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I looking for? What would I be looking for? So that makes sense.
Yeah, and also you guys seem to have a pretty good handle on it, but I will in the training worksheet I'll send you, it'll have a link to a video. It's short, but if you want to watch it like in real time for what happens, I can pull it up now if you prefer and we can watch it together. But it shows yes and no's because sometimes what happens too is like I said about my dog, they consent yes, I meaning I want more pets, I want more, but at some point they'll stop. And
Mhm.
so then we humans have to stop. This happens a lot
Yeah.
too when my dogs come and sit next to me, like when we're watching TV. Just because they come and plop next to me doesn't mean they want me petting them. Maybe they just want to smash their, body right next to mine without me like doing this all the time and petting them. So the soliciting is pretty much that. And it sounds like Booker knows how to solicit, whether it's shoving
Can
the
we watch
head
that?
or pawing. Yeah, let
Can
me
we
bring it
watch? Yeah,
up.
I'd like
Yeah.
because I then that way I can see the interaction. Plus, you can kind of walk us. And you know what? He did that last night before Carrie got home from work. He came and sat down on the couch with me,
Yeah.
and he looked up at me like, and I didn't know how to read it because I knew he wasn't feeling well at all.
Yeah.
And so I reached over and I petted him a couple times, and it was a feel. I was like, I don't, I think he just wants to lay here.
Hmm.
Nothing tangible. I could never have described it. So I just quit petting him, and he stayed up there, and then he got down a little bit later to get a drink of water. And then he jumped back up on the couch, but he jumped up over on the other side, Carrie, where he does when he
Hmm.
obviously, if he wants to be with us, he's up on, where we're sitting. A lot of
Hmm.
times he just goes up and he can see us. He's 4 feet away from us, but
Hmm.
he's not coming over by us.
Yeah,
And a
because
lot of
he's like,
times now I'm thinking, now you got me thinking about it.
yeah.
And I'm like, Carrie and I are both like, oh, come here, come here, come here. And he looks at us like, no, idiots.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
over
like,
here for a
I want my
reason.
space. Yeah.
But he
Yep.
will sometimes whine. He'll go, oh, oh, and keep going on and look at us, and then I'll respond back with his same noises, and then we go back and forth. And I don't know what he wants in those cases. I don't know
Sure.
if he's saying. I feel like he's saying, no, come over here by me. I want to control you right now. I think that's I'm training you. I think
Sure.
he wants to control the situation sometimes.
And I don't know if I doubt it's about control. It's just about, I like this couch. I would love for mom to be petting me right now. I would just prefer that mom did it over here so I don't have to get up. So it's more about comfort than like just control overall.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you can trial and eval that. Like if he starts whining on that couch, and mind you, the whining, take it in context. Have your needs been met? Have you been out to potty? Like, do you need to pee? Do you need to poop? Did you eat? Like, is there anything like physically that you need? With the past few days, I would also throw in there, is something feeling off? Like, is your stomach upset or whatever the case? Other than that, if all of those are out the window and we know all of those things are fine, go sit over there and see what happens. Like, just sit there, and does he paw at
Mm-hmm.
you? Does he nudge
Mm-hmm.
you? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, just
sometimes
see
he
what
does.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, he does, or he'll lay down and put his paw up, like "Come hold me" or something, "Come hug me." So I think he just does want us to go to him. He wants to lay in that spot, but he wants to be by you, but he wants to lay in that spot. So you move.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's I'm in his spot. He wants to sit in the spot that I'm
Ah,
in. So then he tricks me, and I'll get up, and then he'll jump in the spot, or Don will get up to get something, and he'll be whining and staring at Don while Don's sitting there, and Don will get up to go get something, and every time we're like, Don's like, he's gonna steal my spot. I
he's
know
gonna
he's
do
gonna.
it.
And as soon as he jumps up there, and then he plops his head on the armrest and sprawls out, and
Uh,
he will take up the whole seat, so that you are sure not to be able to sit there, and you have to pick another spot. And every time we do it, we just let him
I
stay
mean, and
there.
you can. There's nothing wrong with letting him be comfortable, so long as you have another spot where you can be comfortable. If you were like,
Mhm.
I really wanted that spot that had a good view of whatever I was doing or whatever, grab some treats, toss him over there, lure him off, get back in where you were. Like, that's also okay. There's like, as humans, there are some times where you don't get what you want. I need you to do this, and we compromise. Just like if he's whining from the opposite couch, but you're chill where you are. It's like, dude, I'm sorry, I'm not getting up. I've had a long day and I'm tired. If you want pets, please come over here. That's also okay. So you don't, I wouldn't worry so much as anybody controlling another. Think of all you three as like just a fluid dynamic. We're just a fluid family, and we have some give and take and back and forth because that's what being a family does. That's what we do, like in a household.
Mhm. Mhm. Good
Let me
point.
pull
Yeah.
up this video here and then we'll go through this. Let me share my screen before I click on this because then it's going to start share. So this video is also accessible in the body language resources that I had sent you folks a while back. It's probably linked in a
Mhm.
few of the worksheets. It's buried in here, so it's petting consent test. So I'll play it now. Open the link.
Oh, look at
Can you
that
hear
little
the
guy.
sound, first of all? Can you hear the sound from the
No,
video? You
Nope.
can't
I
hear the
can't.
sound from the video. How can I get you to hear the sound from the video? Okay, well, basically I'll walk you through it because a lot of the what's happening in the video is going to be written on a screen anyway. So I'll just hit play and I'll probably, like you said, pause in between here. So this, we're asking, does this dog in here want to be pet? So she's saying what's on the screen. She's saying that, and this is
Oh.
the what I just talked about where you start and then start and then stop. And this is called the petting consent test. It's a way that they can communicate, yes, I want this to continue, or no, I don't. So that's all she's saying right now. She's going to go through some examples. So here's a dog. This is asking you to do this like with your own dog before you're doing it, obviously with some other dog. So she's going to be here doing this with her dog, maybe in the backyard or in the living room. Having access for the dog to move around, right? Like this dog was kind of like he's got nowhere to go, right? Because he's blocked here on the couch. So that's not a great place. We want him to be able to escape if he doesn't like the situation. So she was explaining where to be petted. A lot of people think the head is the first place to go. I like to go for chest, which is a little bit counterintuitive because you feel like you're putting your hand right below their mouth. But I'm like, I feel like this
Hmm.
is worse because then you're like, this is intimidating to a lot of dogs. So I try to go for the chest, but wherever you think Booker likes, if he happens to like, I don't know, anything else and you know that, then go for it. Otherwise, chest is usually pretty green light. So she's going to do that. She's petting the chest, and you're going to see that she's going to remove her hand. Now the dog is looking away. He's not saying anything that he wants this to happen.
Mm.
So this dog does not want this interaction to continue. And she's going to go through right now all of the things that we missed in that small interaction with this dog's body language. And I think she's going to slow it down. So lip lick right there, head turning away, looking away again, looking away, looking away, no indication. We've got furrowed eyebrows. The tail is up and it's stiff. The ears are forward. None of this screams relaxed body language to me, like to begin with.
Hmm.
So she's going to try again. And this dog never consented. They wanted, and now they're moving away, lip lick again.
Oh, wow.
So she's saying, yeah, 7 head turns, 2 full body turns, and 2 times where she was shrinking back. All of these meaning I don't like what's happening. I'm trying not to have this interaction at all. That's a lip lick, and it happens so fast. Unless you see a lip lick in the context of eating, like as you're finishing eating, it's usually a sign of anxiety or stress when you see a lip lick. So if you see it in a different context other than a meal, that's probably a flag for you to just keep in mind. The head
Wow.
turn, obviously, right? We're like, I don't want to look at you. I'm trying to avoid eye contact. Full body turn away. I'm literally trying to get away, but I'm worried that if I like bolt, I don't know how that's going to go. So I'm looking for any way out of the situation. That's what's happening here. And that's when she's trying to go above to pat on the head, and the dog's like, oh God, please no. So they're shrinking back because they don't want
Hmm.
the hand to be touching them.
Hmm.
Yeah, once we add this together, that's what it's communicating. She's saying that, yeah, the reason that dog stayed there is because she's probably been used to, oh, training happens with my person, and this is just some weirdo situation that my human is doing to me right now. So that's
Hmm.
I think why she stuck around. And this is a different dog. So those are
Oh.
soft eyes, soft
Hmm.
ears. Ears are forward, they're floppy. The mouth is closed, but it doesn't look super tense. I don't see a furrowed eyebrow. The ears are, or the eyes are almost squinty, like they're relaxed
Hmm.
eyes. So,
We see those a lot.
and now you saw that her putting her head into the hand, that's a yes. That's a,
Yes.
oh, hey, where did you go? Please bring that back to my body because I wanted that. And she's going to remove her hand. And she's like, excuse me, why did you remove that hand? I'd like for you to continue. And she's still got that soft eyes, nice loose body language. No one's forcing her to stay there. And again, she removed the hand. She did a quick lip lick at the end, but she wanted the interaction to continue. She walked up to her for the most time, like it says her face was relaxed. She's just explaining what's on the slide here. All of that is she's saying the body language is clear communication, not just the going forward. It's looking at everything else, like looking at the big picture. So that's the video. And again, you can go back to
Oh,
that
wow.
if you want to see it again. You can share it. Share it with your friends. Be like, this is what it is and what it's supposed to be. Because like I said, not a lot of people know about this. We know the magic hand. That's what we know. I feel like that's what's just went on in the universe for so long that that's just what we do. So we're trying to shift that to say, it's not about can you pet my dog? Let's ask my dog if they want to be pet, right? So this usually gets more complicated with family members, like at gatherings. So if you ever have people over, like for Christmas, Thanksgiving, or whatever, 4th of July, you're doing something in the backyard, and people are loving on your dog, especially if you're like questionable about it, because you're always going to have that person. If your family's anything like mine, you're gonna have that family member that's like, oh no, but I'm a dog person. Oh no, but I
Mhm.
know I'm a dog person. I'm like, no, but you don't know actually. So watching the body language, and if you suspect that Booker is going to be weary of anybody, then taking precautions to either separate or have Booker on leash if that's going to be the case. For the most part, it sounds like he's pretty chill around people. It's just other dogs. So just food for thought, something to think about as you
Mhm.
continue to live and grow with him.
But it's good because dogs are really intuitive and they can sense things that maybe other people or animals can't.
Hmm.
So there could be a situation where the person seems nice, but maybe Booker just doesn't trust them for some reason. So it's good to
Yeah,
know the signs,
yeah,
and what to look for.
yeah. Any other
Yeah.
questions about petting consent or anything else? I know we've talked a lot about body language and how he's doing. This being our last session, at least of this package, I want to make sure that if you folks have any lingering, hey, what about this, that we get to that in the last 10 or so minutes that we have.
I don't. Do you, babe? Do you? We just need to
No,
work
I'm
on, I know for sure we need to work on the getting him behind us and all that. I think it's just been a slow process getting him up to speed and comfortable on the walks with the dog. There are times where he still does, for whatever reason, there could be just a random dog across the on the other side of the street on the sidewalk and he'll go crazy. It's just
Yeah, but it is slowed down so much with
it
respect
has.
to and 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 his well, so we were with some friends over the weekend, and it was actually the friends whose dog he did not like from day one. Our
Mm,
mistake. We took him to foreign house, big dog, whatever, and
First week.
yeah,
Yeah.
first week, and we were talking about the dogs, and his dog is absolutely 100% puppy. He jumps. I was so proud. I was so proud of our dog, and it has nothing to do with what we did because we got him like this. But we go over there, and Atlas, he's 105 pounds. First thing he did was jump on me, scratch my chest. I thought he ripped my shirt, and
oh,
and
geez.
he's just totally out of control. And so then I'm talking to my friend Kevin about the dogs, and he's like, "Well, how's Booker doing? I know you're training." And I said, "You know what? To me, an untrained person, I think he's doing great. We're slowly acclimating to other dogs and so forth." And he was like, "Well, we should get him together." And I was like, well, no, we're not ready for that yet. And he's like, well, I think if we just, and I was like, and he kept pushing and pushing. And I kept telling him, no, I was like, Kevin, this is a long process. I said, we've only had him for 4 months. We don't know what's in his brain. We don't know what happened to him before, especially given his history, where they found him and everything. I said, well, I think we should, if we just took him to a dog park. And I looked at him and I go, take him
Oh
to a
God,
dog.
that would be even.
I go, take him to a dog park. I said, we can't even do a one-on-one. I go, what do you think if I left this 80-pound dog loose in a dog park, he's going to go eat every dog there. Or
Yeah.
he might get along with every dog there. We don't know, but we can only gauge by the interaction so far. And I'm telling you, it was a 10-minute conversation, and he was getting so frustrated that Booker is not further apart or further along. And I kept telling him, and I was kind of happy because Carrie and I have both agreed that, hey, we are taking this ultra slow, right? We are not forcing him into it. I can't tell you how many times, Veronica, I have used the bucket analogy.
Good.
I know. I
Yeah.
was laughing at that. You're training my husband too, because he's always telling. He's like, "Babe, my bucket's full. Don't even start with me. I can't handle one more thing in this bucket."
I
Okay,
love it.
sorry.
But
Love
it has
it.
been, I mean, especially when I'm walking him, that's how I view everything now. That
Yeah.
that small dog across the street, if that dog doesn't bark, that's only a couple drops in the bucket. But if that
Yeah.
dog starts barking, we're opening the tap. And
Hmm.
and then I have real, and again, Veronica, you are freaking amazing. We both love you. Booker loves you through us. Um, it's been, yes, I'm still like hyper alert on our walks. And just the other day proved it to me. I'm walking up our street. There's a whole bunch of very nice townhomes up the road from us. And those people, they have nowhere to go but to bring them out of their door and walk them where we walk, to get them across the street into this field where they can let them walk a little bit. And we came to an opening, and this lady popped out in front of us. I mean,
Mm.
scared the shit out of me. So I know Booker was scared too, right?
Yeah.
But he was startled because immediately I saw they popped out. I looked down at him to think, oh my God, what's he going to do? He was absolutely startled, but he was okay until that damn dog started barking. And then, of course, the hackles went up. I haven't seen him like that in a long time. And I was probably, if I had hackles, mine probably would have been up too, because I
Yeah.
mean, literally they popped out 5 feet in front of us. So I took him, I literally had to drag him. There was no treats, no, the spray can. I had to remove him. And I got him, I had to drag him across the street, and he was okay. He went with me and he didn't fight me too much, but he was still locked in on that dog. And I really saw the difference between 4 months ago and now, even with that ultimate surprise for both of us. He probably handled it better than me. To be honest with you, I gave the lady a look like, and it was unfair because she's just trying to walk her dog. But
Yeah.
even that, and that was kind of that was our second worst case scenario. The other absolute worst case scenario, which we could have run into last night had we not been looking up the block, is that loose dog. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the worst, and we're still not past that, and we're still not to the point where I know how he's going to behave. But even that one, having them pop out right in front of us, he did incredibly well, and he would not have done that 4 months ago, right? He would have as big and as healthy as he is now compared to when we got him. He would have drugged me right to the dog.
Yeah.
So our fear is still that worst case, but it is absolutely those little things, those little drops of water, and keeping his bucket as empty as we can. And I'm sure Carrie's probably tired of me saying it, and I know my friends are that I talk about it, but I talk about the bucket all the time. And I've even told people at work, it's kind of like us at work.
Yeah.
I get enough of the idiots that I have to deal with, and I'm finally like, enough. Don't want to hear it. Don't
Hmm.
want to see it. And so it really is a great analogy. And with him, that's what we're trying to do on a daily basis, is keep that bucket as empty as we can. And I really think, since you gave us that and we think of it in those terms, I just told my friend on the phone earlier, I said, I can walk him up the street and walk him back down and walk him up the street. And he doesn't know where we're going. He's getting a lot of sniffs, which we're,
Hmm.
really letting him do now. Um,
Hmm.
I think that we're just progressing, I think, in a pretty good time frame, given what we know about him.
Yeah,
And
I
we
agree.
definitely want to. We definitely. I know this is our last free one. We definitely want to continue, right, babe?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, and we
Yeah.
don't, we would rather work, we love you. When we say we love you, we really love you. You have been, you've been great. You've given us so much, I mean, just good advice and knowledge and everything. So it's been really, really helpful. And
Good.
we don't really want to switch to somebody else if we can help it.
Yeah, and you don't have to. I'll send you links to schedule more sessions if you'd like. I love that what we've gone over so far has been so helpful in terms of managing your everyday life. And I know that a lot too of what you're doing right now is exactly that, management, meaning we're trying to monitor the number of things that go in the bucket because
Mm-hmm.
there's lots that we can't control that's going to end up going in the bucket, like the lady coming around the corner is a surprise,
Hmm.
right? So I love that we're on board with that, and you guys are doing such a phenomenal job. I would love to see us build on that so you don't have to do so much of it all the time. I know we get to a certain point where it's like it's muscle memory for us. Like I'm just used to every time I go for a walk with my dogs, I am scanning everything. I don't think I'll ever stop because I've never had a normal dog that I didn't have to worry about what am I going to come across. So I'm okay with that. And if you guys are cool with that, great. But if you're like, I'm doing a lot of management and I want to loosen things up, how can we start changing the emotions that Booker is having in some of these situations when we encounter other dogs? Because for now, what we've built on is management and ways to avoid situations for not only safety, but to prevent more things going in the bucket, which is awesome. And we need that as the foundation, but we can start building upon that to be like, okay, let's start testing if we are far enough away from a dog, for example, and Booker is showing okay body language, he's relaxed at this, let's say this distance, how can we start pairing positive associations with that? And if we do that long
Hmm.
enough, then maybe we can get
Mm-hmm.
Booker to this distance, and let's see how close we can get. I think that's what will tell us,
Mm-hmm.
will Booker like other dogs, or is he just like, nah, that's not for me. Like I like very few select dogs. It can go any number of ways. We just won't know until we reduce some of that gap. So for
Hmm.
now, I think it's good to focus on the stuff we talked about last time. The flight cue is the one that I think would have been super useful for the coming around the corner surprises. I think if you were able to get Booker out of that situation easily, awesome. That's what I want. Flight cue is really just about how can I do this without like dragging you? Like this is Booker coming with me because he's got that muscle memory built in. So I'll put that back in the training worksheet. That one is to be used when it's like, oh my God, over threshold, we got to get out of here. That's what that one can be used
Mm-hmm.
for. The look at that can be used for when Booker is calm enough to pay attention to you, so he's still under his threshold. That means like you're seeing the dog from this distance, and Booker's like, hey, I see that dog. Dad, do you see that dog? You're like, yeah, I see that dog. Here's a treat because you could have lunged and barked and jumped and you didn't. We just kind of hung out here and you chose to remain calm, so you get treats for that. And we can set up situations to do that. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
on a weekend, if you have time, we drive to a Petco parking lot and we wait really far away and just kind of watch dogs coming in and out or something. Like we can play around with that. Um, but I think building on the skills that you have already will be helpful in trying to figure out where we can get Booker on his spectrum of likability with other dogs or not.
You know what? I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
you brought that up again because just this past couple of weeks, I have noticed more and more, and I didn't recognize it because I don't know. Um, when that dog is across one of the places we walk, it's two lanes, a median, and then two lanes. When they're far away from, and I'm realizing this now, and I really feel bad that I didn't realize it then. He was doing exactly that, not all the time,
Mm,
but I'd be trying to keep him engaged with me and try to walk him past and have him not even see that dog. But not,
Hmm.
no, I need to let him see that dog, especially when they're that far away. But he was giving me that, and I wasn't recognizing that because he would see the dog, and sometimes he would turn and look at me. And I
Hmm.
was so busy trying to distract him from it, I should have been rewarding him for that.
Yeah, but that's
Looking at the
okay.
dog,
Yeah.
looking at me saying, "Hey, is everything cool?" I was
Yeah.
just like, "Okay, he's not barking. I'm so happy. Let's keep moving."
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
so
I get
yeah,
that.
I think that's something that we're not there, but that's something that he's trying to tell dumb old me, "Hey, we're working here. Let's keep it
Yeah.
up."
Yeah.
I
I
love
think
it. I love it.
that's a great plan. When you're at a safe enough distance that he's showing relaxed body language, like maybe he's alert. I'm not saying relaxed like he's laying down or whatever, but he's
Hmm.
alert, but he's not reacting. And he doesn't even have to look at you all the time. He can just kind of look at the thing and be like, I don't know about that. And then you can just give him a treat because he looked at the thing and that equals food. He looked at the thing and that equals food,
Uh,
especially if he's not reacting. But what's even better is if you start even with that, he's going to look at the thing and be like, I don't know about that, Dad. And that's when you treat. Either
got it.
one is perfectly fine to do. Usually we start with just looking at the thing and he doesn't have to have eye contact with you because that's easier for him. He doesn't need to do anything except not react. But eventually, once you do that long enough, he's going to start looking back at you. He's going to get the hang of
Ah,
it. And that's beautiful. That's
mhm.
beautiful.
I like that.
Nice.
Because then
Great. Well,
there's not so much avoidance. There's more
exactly.
acceptance.
Exactly. We're
Okay.
moving a little bit in that
Yeah.
direction so that we don't always have to do such diligent management of avoiding absolutely everything that we see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
No, that
nailed
sounds
it.
great. I love it.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so I will send you the training worksheet with some of the things basically from last time that we're gonna just put more focus and effort on. If you want to continue sessions, how do you want to do that? I can do one of two things. I can send you a link where you can schedule that yourselves whenever you feel the time is right. I know we've got Memorial Day coming up and stuff, and you've got busy work things. Or if you want to get something on the schedule now, and then I have my administrative team send you like the invoice for the package, I can do that. It can go
What do you
either way. We can do
what
single
do you think, babe?
sessions or a pack of 3 sessions.
Well, do you have pricing on that too?
I
Like
do,
what it is
yes.
per individual
It
or versus
Yes, for the 3 sessions, I believe it's 525 for 3 sessions. Bringing it, yes, 525, and then the single sessions, different link, 200 for a single session. And you don't have to decide
okay.
now. If you guys want to chat about it and then get back to me, I can send you the link for both of those. I think for where we're headed with Booker, we probably need more than one additional session in terms of like getting to your goals, but you can certainly do them like one at a time, especially if you have time, things with work and you're like, I don't know when I'd be able to schedule them. So either one is
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's talk about that, babe.
Yeah, that's good.
How we want to do it, if we want to do the package deal or individually, but um
I wanted to
I see you now.
yeah, I wanted to I am here.
In the flesh.
yeah.
And for
Great.
the record, I have been trying you're there. I have been trying the entire time to get my damn camera to work, and I just can't figure it out. It
Stop
keeps
it.
saying it's the right, but I just got a new computer, a new company computer.
Babe, that is messed
So
up.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's all
Okay.
right. We can all hear each other. And if you need to come back and look at anything of this video, it's recorded too. Okay, so I think that gives us enough to work on for the next few
Perfect.
weeks. I will send you the links to book sessions whenever you guys feel ready, and then we can just pick up where we've left off and see what more progress we can make with Booker.
Excellent. Thank you
Sounds
so much.
good.
You're
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
welcome.
you. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you're very welcome. It was good catching up with both of you. Have a
You
lovely
too.
weekend, and I look forward to touching base in a few weeks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye.